Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got ourselves a grand finals. It's a best of 7. The team goes to Bounty Brawl, $1,000 on the line. Psystorm Gaming's Max in the top right. In the top left, we've got Beyond, who's gone for a Proxy Rax. And despite seeing this with this probe over here, Max is still taking a gold base as his expansion in the face of it. Beyond comes in, and he's like, well, okay. And it looks like he's thinking about building a bunker down there. I mean, this is going to be very annoying to get any meaningful amount of mining up. However, it's not like a Reaper can really kill anything, right? As long as you get the shield battery up on the expansion and you get a Stalker down here, usually you can clean this up pretty well. Now, the Warp Gate's finished. Where's that Stalker? Oh, he's a little slow to start it as he prioritized Warp Gate first. Interesting, that. And notice the Reaper was trying to chase the probe off. So the probe's gone around the left. I think that's a dead probe, but I think it's worth it because you got to get that shield battery started. Now the Zealot's going to go after the bunker, and this is a nice aggressive way to start. Obviously, this was Max's first map. The gold base really can give him a big lead. Oh, the bunker's taking a lot of damage, but if the SCV can get out and repair it, the Reaper, notice it's attacking the shield battery. Shield battery only has 300 total hit points. Second Reaper is here. There's a third Reaper building as well. What the heck? That's a very quick third Reaper. SCV desperately trying to repair. Zealot damage is pretty great, though. I don't know if a single SCV can out-repair a Zealot and a Stalker. The Stalker takes down that. The Reapers do get out of there. They take out the shield battery as well. It doesn't really achieve that much, does it? And he's going to recall, of course, he's going to recall his probes down here. So he's going to get straight to mining. We'll probably have to rebuild that shield battery, though. Robo coming up behind it. There's a Stalker in the main, a Zealot and a Stalker down here. Problem is, you got to cover those minerals. Those Reapers are going to run to the right. The Zealot and the Stalker out of position. Battery starting, but it's not up just yet. Reapers, once there's 3 of them, you can 2-shot probes. Nicely done. Does grab 1-2 probes and gets out of there. Hellions going to go in towards the main base as well. If that can distract, you might be able to get back in and pick off a few more. Reapers going after it. Oh, good micro so far by Max. Beyond doesn't want to lose any of these. I feel like he could have picked off 1 or 2 more. Hellion in the main base starting to stack up some shots on those probes. But good micro by Max. Pulling those weak workers away. And he does take it down with no losses. Down here still looks like a total of just 4 probes. It was those 3 that got picked off, plus the first one that built the shield battery. And now with that shield battery there healing the second one that was built. Looks like he is safe and solid. Oh, that one actually, that probe just went barely out of battery healing range. It does get sniped down. Nice move by Beyond with his Reaper harass. Behind this, he's gone for a reacted factory. He's going mine drop. Why is he going reactor Widow mine but no medevac? Interesting. I guess he's just getting them defensively. Beyond's going to put the barracks on the reactor, factory on the tech lab, so he's going to go tank marine. And Banshees? Wow, okay. Third command center as well. Interesting build here from Beyond. Really interesting build. Not what I was expecting at all. The Reapers are going to bypass into the main base. There is a shield battery there, so Max is playing quite safe. 2 gates, a Robo and a Robo Bay, all before taking a third base. Those Reapers going to cause him some trouble, though. What's he got at home? He's got a Stalker there. And you know what? With the shield battery, I guess there's not really much the Reapers can do, is there? Drops going in on the other side of the map. Beyond has no units right now. He's got 2 Marines and a Banshee about to be out. Nothing else to deal with this. Now he's able to kill the SCV on the command center. Well, what can you do? I mean, you've got to attack this with SCVs. The Banshee's not fighting. Reapers go down here. They're not able to kill anything either. They're going after that Stalker right now. Oh, the Stalker doesn't quite go back in range of the battery. And it goes down. Nice snipe there. Loses 4 SCVs and a lot of mining time in the main. But, oh, the Reapers get blocked by a warp-in. Great move by Max. Can he get the last Reaper as well? Yes, he can. Smears that Reaper across the ground. And a great way to start this defense. A third base goes up behind it. Beyond's only on 30 workers. He's still only got 4 Marines and a tank to defend. He's got to protect that third command center, but you know this Prism's going to keep going after him. And I've got to worry about his setup and his situation right now. The Observer's moving forward to get vision of where all that defense is. And I don't think there's any real information on where the Stalkers are. Yeah, there we go. Prism's going in. These Stalkers going to clear these Widow Mines in the natural. Beyond's Banshee taking heavy damage up in the main. His Widow Mines do unburrow. The Banshee barely survives, but he loses the SCV on the command center. And these Stalkers are just going to walk in there. No, single Marine in the bunker, enough to scare them away for the moment. And, oh my lord. Beyond just taps out. He realizes he just has no units. Going for a third command center after 3 Reapers proxied. And knowing that Max has got him completely pinned while going to 3 bases, he just feels very impotent here. The Banshees can't get across the map. And fair call, once you lose your Banshee, your cloak is worthless. What are you going to do from there? A great way to start off the series for Max with a gold base. All right, going into map 2, a dominating map 1, but it was his map pick and arguably the strongest map for MaxPax in the map pool. Now going on to Alcyon, which is of course Bjorn's map pick. I do believe MaxPax vetoed Hard Lead as a very good Terran map, but I don't know. Still interesting to me that Bjorn picked this map. I'm curious to see what he does with it. This map also has a gold base, but if you go for that gold base, I'd say it's a little more exposed than the Equilibrium one. They're both pretty exposed, but this one also doesn't have the rich gas payoff on it. And he's going to be sending out an early probe, looking for any barracks placed inside his own expansion. MaxPax just scouting around. There's a double gas for Bjorn. So he's going to go for some fast tech, but with his production in the main base. And it looks like that probe will go forwards for the scout. Chat was debating if mech should come out in map 2. Bjorn, I was putting out a challenge. I was like, if anyone knows a game where Bjorn's ever played mech versus Protoss, please link it up. I'd love to go take a trip down memory lane, because that's probably only ever happened once or twice. Special and Gumiho, the two players you can see mix in some mech pretty regularly with pretty average results, I would say. He scouts. He doesn't want to go in and get the probe trap, so he stays outside. Nexus after Cybercore into the pylon. Pretty standard opening for MaxPax. Nothing crazy here. And are we going to see a reactor, or are we just going to keep building Reapers? I prefer the quick reactor opening usually, but there's definitely something to be said for multiple Reapers. There we go. Cancels the second Reaper, builds a reactor. And that will be coming forwards across the map. Adept is building. Warp gates just started. MaxPax rallying to that second gas. All right, Reaper's going to come in. This is the very first scout of Bjorn. He did not look for proxies at all. Zero respect for the threat of MaxPax proxying him. Now, this is a double chrono on the Adept. So this Adept from MaxPax looks like it's going forward. He's got a pylon. Are we seeing a second and third gate? Yes, we are. Second gate proxied. We should see a third gate at home momentarily. But notice that Reaper came in between these Adepts. Now, the other one is going to the low ground. So if he took a hit or two here, he might have died. Great interception, though, by MaxPax. Oh, he's going to get it unless he can jump south, which he can, because there's no way to chase through those minerals yet until they're taken down. Third gate was a little delayed, guys. You can see this one here might be a little bit late for the first warp in, but I think it's okay, actually. And I think we'll see one more chrono into warp gate as this goes on. So there's going to be two Adepts and a Stalker moving across the map. The Reaper is now looking around. Command Center is on the high ground. Cyclone and a Medevac. Cyclones are not bad, but tanks are definitely better against this sort of three-gate build. Interesting the way Bjorn is just not looking for proxies at all this game. This could be a bad start for him. Bjorn does have a 56% win record all-time versus MaxPax, so he is favored in the matchup. Lets the Adept shade in. The Adept's going to take that scout, but will get, of course, taken down very quickly. Reaper jumps in and gets a probe as well. Bjorn getting his first damage of the game, one Adept and one probe. He also gets a scout on the gateways in the main. Ooh, very nice for him. Reaper is trapped, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Stalker's warping in on the front. Now, there's going to be a single Cyclone drop. Bjorn is going to think about moving to the low ground, but the thing is, he can't really get a bunker up there, can he? The Adept comes forward. Good pullback for MaxPax. Stalkers can beat Marines decently. Marines are going to move up on the edge of the high ground, but they've got to be wary of the Shade. The Shade gives high ground vision, should allow the Stalkers to pick. And there is a siege tank there as well. So MaxPax is going to chill. He's going to probe, think about getting Blink in a third base. Blink does start up now. He could, I mean, actually, the way Bjorn's moved down here, I could imagine a guy like Parting just shoving in with 6 Stalkers and an Adept right now and doing big damage. 2 Stalkers in the main base. Remember, a Cyclone cannot get healed by a Medevac, so perfect defense for MaxPax. Starts a Robo and a third and fourth gas. His probing is still solid. And remember, even though the third is quite delayed with this build, Bjorn also has only now got his orbital creating on the natural. So both sides have slowed their economy down to have a lot more army early. Neither side's inflicted large damage on the other. The trading has gone slightly better for Bjorn so far. And he's going to send a Banshee across the map. He's got a Cyclone drop out there that gets deflected. Looks like a Stalker gets picked off by the Marine tank move out. Moving all the way across the map with this Marine tank would be very risky. But just clearing up the gateway, I think, would be a safe move. Now, it looks like the Medevac did go down. The Cyclone runs in and will take out 1, 2, 3 probes before it does die. But losing a Medevac and a Cyclone for that, MaxPax no doubt okay with that trade. I don't mind this either. He's just sieging on the watchtower. Not a bad move, but leaving that gateway up He should know there's a gateway. You saw a second gateway before Twilight Council. MaxPax always does this for the third gate as well. Ah, the Adept does get taken out. Cute move. I love that this siege tank is somehow close enough to take the watchtower from there. Banshee coming in on the south. It is a non-cloak Banshee, so he's not going to get nothing done. All right, Beyond going very late stim. Second barracks is finished. Third barracks is on the way. Engineering bay and a third gas. He's finally looking for the gateway. There we go. Finally, he finds it. And we'll deny that pylon and that extra gate. That's going to put him back to 2 gates. Now, with a Robo Bay, I believe, finished, he should be... Wait. He doesn't have a Robo Bay finished? Oh, man. I mean, this is 14 Blink Stalkers off now 2 gates. No third gate. No Robo Bay. MaxPax's production sucks, but he has a lot of Stalkers right now. And he's looking for the siege tank. Oh, man. He doesn't quite get it, though. Guess what? Damaging a lot of the Stalkers. I think that's good for Beyond. He can repair the tank. He's got plenty of Marines, bunkers, tanks now. And the Stalkers are going to keep him pinned defensively, but I don't think he cares. And I actually feel like in this scenario, Beyond is almost certain to scan for an observer in about 20 seconds on the medevac spot, and then load up his bio, and he's going to stim around the edge of the map and try to drop in MaxPax's backdoor. Is MaxPax going to realize this threat? He's got a Forge, a Robo Bay, 3 more gateways building. We're watching from his camera right now. If he sees that scan, it should tip him off to the fact that Beyond's going to drop him. Now remember, it's Beyond, so Beyond might just rely on his eyeballs to see if there's an observer watching and basically say, hey, there's no observer, let's go for that sneaky drop. But actually, no, he's moving out the front. I did not expect this because seeing so many Stalkers, if you get around those Stalkers, the drop is very powerful. Uh-oh. Does lose a Stalker for only a Marine. Great trades for Beyond so far in this game. Getting kicked off 1 or 2 more Marines. Just 1 more Marine, but only 1 Marine each time is not that big. This Stalker's being a nuisance. I like that move. If he could get that Stalker out of there as well, that'd be great. But he's microing on the front. Stalker's starting to fall. Oh, man. Charge is still a while away. Another Stalker falls. 5 Stalkers have gone down. Another probe goes down. I mean, MaxPax is in huge trouble. The Colossus is coming forward. Stim shields +1 are only now kicking in for Beyond, but his army is so big. Great Colossus attack there. Gets another good... You notice the Colossus was always shooting the Marines. He does take out a Widowmine as well. Oh, he's going to force that tank to siege. Sentry goes down. But the shield battery, the Colossus looking good. I wouldn't mind him building another battery back here because that one's going to get focused down so quickly. Defending this base is going to be a near impossibility. Banshee goes down in the back door. Looks like a bit of an F2 there, causing that to move forward. Second Colossus and extended thermal lance are going to be here on the front in about 20 seconds. The Nexus can tank a little bit of damage, but he's got to be careful. There is still a Stalker over there, but he's finally hitting that SCV. We'll deny that command center. Nicely done. And indeed he does. Meanwhile, Stalkers jump in from the front, Zealots from the back. The tanks get obliterated. Perfect engagement from MaxPax before the reinforcements can arrive. How is the Stalkers still alive? You are kidding me. And there's no concussive. So if he can just blink to the low ground, he keeps it alive. Legendary Stalker harassment from MaxPax, who's still in a decent position despite looking very fragile a minute ago. 61 probes, though, against 62 SCVs. So, of course, Beyond has the upper hand in that regard. There is an observer watching all of his production, though. And we've got that Widowmine drop coming in the left. Second Engineering Bay and Armory is on the way. Beyond is gearing up for a much longer game. And that Widowmine drop, MaxPax just built a Forge. Doesn't feel like he's watching, but there we go. Oh, he didn't start the cannon. It got blocked there, guys. Definitely like to start a cannon in each base in this sort of scenario. Looks like a Widowmine does get picked off by the units at the front. Stalkers are ready for the rotate into the main, but good movement by Beyond. And, oh, he's trying to bait him. Beyond's like, if you blink south, I'll move north. If you blink north, I'll move south. But, of course, MaxPax patiently waits for Beyond to commit before blinking. High-level plays. Colossus shaving off more Marines and Marauders right now. MaxPax is all over this game. From a really weird position to what I would argue now is a fantastic position. Baiting out Widowmine shots. He's going to bring this Observer back to try and kill these Widowmines. Great moves there for him. And Beyond is going to go for what we refer to as the YOLO drop, where he sends his entire army across the map and hopes that Protoss doesn't push in right now. If Protoss pushes in right now, he's dead. He cannot defend this third, but if he can make it messy, get on that fourth base, this could work out for Beyond. It's a high-risk maneuver, but he was losing units on the defense. He was bleeding things out, so he has to do something dangerous. The Bio goes back to defend. The Stalker Zealot will get rid of the third base, make that lift. MaxPax has to abandon his fourth at the same time. Zealots are warping into the main base, but the Bio's on top of it. Great trade here for Beyond as he gets into the choke point. The Colossus are pushing forward. There are disruptors building behind this. The command center goes down, so he's lost his third. Looks like the natural will get ransacked as well. The disruptor, big shot. Oh my god, Bjorn was watching. Who the hell is watching in that scenario? What a mad dog. Great play by Bjorn. Only loses 2 Marauders to that shot. Colossus, though, are going to get rid of all of these SCVs. Every single SCV stacks up and dies. 51 workers killed. Stalkers are on top of the production, and recall is always available, remember. Zealots are still warping in on, I don't know where they are in the main. Zealot Stalker in the main, and MaxPax. Dude, MaxPax winning a second game in a row against Bjorn? That was fantastic. MaxPax, he bloody ate his vitamins. He ate his dinner before this. He must have had a banana for extra potassium. Bjorn is going to need to reset before going into the next map. I want to very quickly watch that break, because I think that fight was so perfect. I think the biggest criticism we could have is that Bjorn probably should have pulled back from this area here with those siege tanks, right? And he also lost that SCV on the third way too many times. But this fight with the Zealots from the left, look at this fight. Zealots from the south, Zealots from the north. Colossus come in, the tanks go down instantly. That was a perfect break, and I think, yeah, if Bjorn had pulled back with those units, kept them alive, this might be a very different game. But GG, well played, man. Very well done. Some players enjoy taking breaks between games, but not these two. Straight into map 3, MaxPax in the top right side for Psystorm, Bjorn in the bottom left for Shopify Rebellion, and an immediate probe across the map. Now, why do you send a probe across? Well, the idea is to block the barracks from starting. And on Stellaris, I think you do get there just in time. So if you block the barracks, they have to build it in a different position, which slows down the Reaper coming out. It potentially also messes up a few other things as well. So notice he's just saying, hey, you can't build your barracks here. Bjorn has to pull a different SCV, build it further back. If you can now harass that SCV and force him to swap an SCV on and off the barracks, that delays it by a few more seconds. Now, one thing I like to do when I do this build against the noobs I play against is I like to get a Nexus before Cybercore, because I'm delaying the Reaper already, and therefore I feel I can get away with it without losing any probes at home. Oh, he's going to lose the SCV, but he does get the probe kill. So Bjorn there, being unwilling to put another SCV on the barracks, does lose it, but he kills the probe. So MaxPax should have changed targets or stayed on the initial target a bit earlier. Attacking this SCV twice was a mistake. If he kept the probe alive, that would have been much better. Of course, MaxPax will just still do a standard opening. So not only does he mess up the Terran opening, you're annoying, though you are meant to keep the probe alive, you also scout immediately if the Terran is intending to go for a proxy barracks. You get there so early that you can send a probe out and catch the SCV building the proxy barracks a lot of the time and cancel it. So it can potentially hard counter a proxy barracks build if they build it too close to your base. It's very good for pressuring them and kind of messing up their opening, but it does sacrifice a lot of minerals. So MaxPax will be a little behind on his Cybercore, a little behind on his Nexus, because, hey, sending one of your very first probes across the map does lose you a bit of mining. Now, a lot of people always say, but what doesn't he have to pull an SCV to defend? He does, but you've already spent 30 seconds of lost mining time before he has to pull an SCV to get across that map. So it does make a big difference. Now, Bjorn goes reactive first here, and he builds a factory in the wall off. So he's going to go double Reaper. Double delayed Reaper can be very effective. Adept will go across the map. Going to be interesting to see where this goes. Command center on location at 2:30. It's a delayed command center and a 4th and 5th Reaper building. You're kidding me. Bjorn's looking to ambush some adepts. If he could take out the first adept, that'd be great. Already seeing 2 Reapers and the command center. He's just going to pull back. Accidentally attacked the command center once, but nice movement with the SCV. Avoids the adept attacks. Now, you got to be real careful with these adepts, because if they get taken out on the map and then you've got 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions running in, you could lose a lot of workers. Now, MaxPax might assume it's just 2 Reapers and a Hellion, and he's like, yeah, that's fine, I could take this fight. Oh, he's going to bully him. I mean, Bjorn is literally on the losing side psychologically so far in this game, but this could be a good trap for him. SCV on the command center does go down, but you're losing an adept. For what? What are you losing that adept for, guys? An SCV on the command center seems nice. Oh, MaxPax is smart. MaxPax is very smart. He's going to wall off. Pylon doesn't make sense. Just build a gateway. You need something with more hit points. There we go. He's just going to build a gateway to buy time, because he needs Warp Gate and he needs more units. He's got 2 Stalkers. He's going to bring them both to the natural. The Adept is going to counterattack, which is really cute if he can get rid of that SCV, but there's a Cyclone and 2 Marines coming out. Gateway does get cancelled. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bjorn Beyond says, oh, you want to win some quick games against me, do you? You want to win some quick games? I want to win some quick games too. He gets right up in there, starts killing the Stalkers. The probes have to fight against the Hellion. And this is a massacre of the workers of MaxPax. 6 of them going down. Even more will be falling. The Reaper's going to rotate in the main. Remember, there's no battery in there as well. This is a lot of damage going down. Probes do get pulled. Nice micro from MaxPax to mitigate damage a little bit, but nonetheless, he still loses an extra probe. Make it an extra 2 probes. That Reaper grenade and focus fire looking slick. Cyclone and Marine could try to target the pylon down, but Beyond says, hey, let's just keep it in my pants. I've done massive damage. There's no need to force the issue. And indeed, tucking it into the waistband is the right call here for Beyond. Factory is going to lift off. We've got the 3rd barracks there as well. Command centers are building more and more SCVs. And this is going to be fascinating. This is going to be really fascinating to see what happens, because we've seen both players basically just getting in control and rolling over the other. But if MaxPax can make a comeback from here, it's almost guaranteed to be basically a 4-0. Cyclone tries to run in. He's going to kill the sentry. Nice moves. Oh, could kill that Stalker as well, but he breaks the lock on nicely. Gonna get himself a probe or 2. Oh my god, if he kills the Stalker, that's huge. Oh my god, they both die at the same time. That Cyclone doing very well. Great trades for Beyond. Beyond's all over this game right now. Units Lost tab tells you a story of Terran dominance. The even worker count is very bad for Protoss. Protoss usually wants to be about 8 workers ahead of a Terran in general. Obviously, it all depends on the situation and the styles you play. If you play much heavier on the upgrades and the tech, you're okay to be closer to even. But that's not the case here. This is just Blink and Observers. There's no Robo Bay, there's no Forges, there's no 3rd and 4th gas for MaxPax. While Stim, halfway done. Shields, beginning. Medevacs already building. Beyond is simply ahead in this game. And the Stalkers will try to damage that bunker, but good pullbacks. Only gets a single SCV, sacrifices some hit points on those Stalkers. 3rd base in the south as well. Don't take the bait. You don't need to take the bait on answering that one, guys. That question in the chat. Okay, Nexus is there. Observer's going to go forward. Medevacs. Thinking about loading up. With the Observer, he can't do it. Okay, Stim's still not quite done. Good micro for MaxPax. He needs lots of value from these Stalkers. But nice pullback micro for Beyond. Now remember, Beyond skimped on siege tanks this game. When I say skimped, I mean he didn't build any. But that means he got a faster Stim, a faster Shields. Stim's done, Shields is almost there. Beyond very well may Stim at MaxPax in a moment. He's going to scan, get rid of the Observer. And at this point, you know Stim's done. You got to be very careful as MaxPax. Look at that, yeah. Immediately lifts, sends an 8 Marine drop. But look at that, MaxPax knows that Beyond, once he gets the vision like that, he'll try to do it. So MaxPax is like, okay, let's go north, see if I can intercept a drop. And he finds it! Dude, next level movement there for MaxPax, realizing, okay, if he's not moving down that ramp, he's probably using it to drop. But Beyond stims through the middle, gets that Stalker. He'll get that Stalker as well. This is still good for Beyond. Still good for Beyond. It's nice that MaxPax found out what was happening, but remember, he's trailing in this game. He's got 5 more gateways building. He's got charge on the way as well. I was talking in the previous game about how when Beyond clears your vision, he likes to load up for a drop. And we saw exactly that move there. Oh, Medevac trying to pull back. Ouch. Medevac does go down. Battery overcharge will need to be activated soon. But Beyond should just back away. There's no reason to fight into battery overcharge here for Beyond. A little slow to pull back, but oh, we got a drop in the main. The 8 Marine drop in the main. If he gets rid of those Stalkers, that'd be great. The Zealot warp in really helps. And a couple probes go down. Great focus fire for Beyond. Gets 4 probes and a few more Stalkers. Units Lost tab looking great there. He just kills his... Was that a Widow Mine? Looks like a Widow Mine maybe died there. Was it a Stalker? Or did he actually kill his own? I think he might have killed his own Stalker. So otherwise, why did they attack there? MaxPax and attacking his own unit in panicky situations. Something that he is known for doing occasionally. And pretty much every pro does it, to be fair. Reactor and Tech Lab are on the way. Interestingly, trying to kind of almost wall off there. Could be useful against a mass charge style, which is what MaxPax is playing for. +1 finally starting up for MaxPax, whereas +1 is finished armor has now started for Beyond. So Beyond's going to maintain a 1 upgrade advantage. He's up 5 workers as well. MaxPax is all in on Zealot Stalker against a Terran that is massing Biomine. And he needs to find the engagement of a lifetime. He needs to catch Beyond with his pants down, but Beyond has correctly identified no gases on the 3rd, no gases on the natural. Therefore, you're all in on Zealots. Therefore, I just need to defend, macro up, and your army is going to scale very badly into the late game. So, MaxPax is clutching at straws right now. And Beyond is trying to knock those straws out of his hands onto the floor and say, F the turtles. Let them choke, man. I do feel like that would be a Terran attitude as well. They are pretty rednecky. The environment sucks. Zealot's going to go into the main base. Going to try and pick off the depot at the front as well. Marine Marauder pushing back the Stalkers. Beautiful position. Look at that choke point for Beyond. The Zealots are all stuck behind each other. I do like the Zealots on the third base, though. MaxPax making it very stressful for Beyond, but this trade so efficient in the main. Oh, this could be nice. If he gets rid of a bunch of these Marauders, that could be a really nice trade for MaxPax. MaxPax getting 12 SCVs. He's picking off a bunch of Widow Mines. He's got to get out of here. Beyond. Oh, my God. Beyond slaying those Stalkers. Concussive Shell's looking great. More Zealots do come in the front, but you don't want to lose all these Zealots is the problem. He gets a few more SCVs. Great pullback from MaxPax. The Zealot's somehow still alive in the main. Did the Warp Prism survive? Yes, it did. This Zealot in the natural has 10 kills! 11 kills! The Stalkers are still harassing in the middle. Another Stalker goes down, though. And remember, even though MaxPax killed 25 workers there, he's only up 5 workers at the end of it because he stopped building workers. He's on 3 base. So he's doing an all-in. An all-in can't just trade army for workers. You might think he killed so many workers. Look how Ember Terran is. Look at the units lost time. It's not efficient trading. So doing this sort of trading only works if you've got the economy advantage. But he doesn't have an economy advantage. It's even workers, so he's still behind on economy, and he's behind in army, and he's behind in upgrades and tech. So you have to look at things in StarCraft in context. And the context is he was desperately all in, and he traded army at an inefficiency. An inefficient army versus economy trade is not going to be enough to get you back in the game when you're this far behind. It's something, don't get me wrong. It extends his life momentarily. He's going to try and go 4 gas into Storm Drop, a bit of budget splash damage. It's a great idea. Stalkers do blink back. Stalkers look funny walking through the speedy zones. Indeed they do. Who was it on this map who GG'd from the Disruptor shot? It was Beyond, right? The Disruptor from MaxPax flew through the speedy zone in the EU Cup and wrecked him. Zealots going after the SCVs, but they are trapped here now, so they're just going to take out whatever they can get before they go down. The medevac healing saving the last one. Units lost time getting worse and worse for Protoss. Another 2 Zealots or another single Zealot goes in. I like that choice. The minimal cost to force a reaction, and if he's not super fast to react, bam, you get 3, 4 SCVs. That's a great trade. 200 minerals for 100. Storm Drop is locked and loaded. Storm will be ready in 20 seconds. One good Storm Drop slaying this army, and maybe, but he's only on 3 base. That's the problem. MaxPax needs to destroy this army with a big Storm ambush. It's still 8 seconds away. 5 seconds, but it's been scanned. He sees it. He sees the Prism. So Beyond's like, no worries, and he should just be pre-spread or starter stepping away from the Prism. Most pros clump up dangerously against the Prism, something I wouldn't recommend average Joes do. Got the speedy zone. Nice first Storm Drop, but good spreads. Great spreads for Beyond. Beautiful spreads. The way he clumps, then spreads, then clumps, then spreads. Viking is here as well. You gotta watch out for the EMP and the Viking. Prism taking a lot of damage. He does land a decent Storm on a few of his own Zealots, but a lot of the bio as well. In the south, there's a Zealot run by in the mineral line, but this army has run out of steam. Beautiful kiting backwards by Beyond off of a fantastic opening. The reactor into 4 Reaper 2 alien pressure did a lot of damage, and Beyond never let go of that momentum. All right. Going into map 4, that was a very important win for his opponent. MaxPax now finds himself back on his opponent's map pick. Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax. He is up 2-1. But, of course, this is the Terran map pick for Shopify Rebellion's Beyond Site Delta. A map where those bases do get spread quite thin. You can already envision Beyond wanting to drop in this big, wide open main base and then drop back on the low ground and try to work both of those angles as well as push up that right side. Lots of swarming possibilities as well as pretty much all of the modern map pool. Lots of good Widow Mine drop places. Now, these maps, this map's got a few... I feel like a few of the other maps, like Oceanborn, is amazing for Liberator harass later in the game. This map's okay, but there's plenty of space. The Stalkers can get rid of you. So there's not really any super OP Liberator spots, whereas on Oceanborn there actually is a few that are deadly. Where you can't even reach the Liberator and it can deny a mineral patch once it's got range. So definitely a few positions where in the late game, Libs could reign supreme. Libs in general have been amazing, but I don't think Beyond really wants to go there. Beyond's a mid-game specialist. MaxPax is an everything specialist, and I think MaxPax is slightly better than Beyond in the late game. That being said, of course, I mean, it's Terran versus Protoss late game. Protoss armies tend to suck at that stage, and with the way MaxPax plays as well, let's be real, MaxPax doesn't really play for the late game. MaxPax tries to kill you off one robo. He's a player who says, no, it's all about momentum, movement, and being in the Terran's face, forcing them on the defense, forcing them to stim constantly. I'm going to kill you at that stage of the game almost always. I love the recall, guys. He sees the factory. He knows it's double gas build. He says, well, let's just recall that probe. Now, some people say, why don't you chrono a probe? Well, the thing is, if you chrono a probe, you get one extra probe out, but in this case, you get it back and it can start mining immediately. Doesn't really matter in this case because it goes on gas, so it doesn't get any bonus mining, but it's still very similar in overall output to a chrono boost. Usually the recall on the probe is worth slightly more. I was gonna drop you guys a really cool explanation on that, and then I realized I don't really have the wording to explain the stuff in any more detail. I'm like, you get mine some minerals because recall still straight away probe at home. It's like, okay. Not one of my most insightful commentary moments where I explain the intricacies of StarCraft calculations on this or that. Stargate, I like that MaxPax is mixing it up. I think mixing it up is very important in this matchup. Unfortunately for him, Beyond's already going Cyclone, and Cyclone is exactly what you want against a Stargate build, so it's kind of a nice matchup of builds for the Terran.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Sorry, guys. I thought we had our alerts off there. My bad. I don't know why that played. My bad. Good catch on the Reaper. Velo, thank you for the 100 biddies, guys. Apologize for that. I'll turn those off real quick. One sec. Register! Production with Pig. Apologies, guys. Black screen of anticipation to get you hyped. And we're back into the action. There we go. Thank you so much for the love. We'll give you guys props and play all those alerts in between the games. The Adept goes down, but it does see the Phoenix play. So, what is Beyond's response? Do we see a third command center, or do we see big aggression? Well, there's a medevac into a lib. This looks like big aggression. And this is always funny when players do this on their map pick, where I'm like, oh, I thought you'd be really confident in a macro game here. But, oh, the Phoenix comes in, sees no third command center. He sandwiches it. That's a good start. Already killing a Phoenix is massive. However, Second Gate Robo are on the way. Now, as a MaxPax fan, guys, the moment Warp Gate's done, you want him warping in Stalkers, you want him chrono boosting Immortals. And you want that chrono on the Phoenix seems good, it's not good. He needs to save 100 energy because he needs 50 energy to chrono the Immortal, and then he needs 50 energy for battery overcharge. It's going to be 45 seconds until he can battery overcharge off this Nexus. So if he does another chrono, which he should do on the Immortal, he could be in big troubles. Now, on the other hand, since he's staying 2 base, is it really that big an issue? Third command center goes down for Beyond, but he's still got the Liberator coming in as well. Where is that Lib, guys? Am I blind? There it is. Liberator splits off to the south, so he's going to go Liberator Siege in the main, which Phoenix can definitely deal with pretty well. Cyclone Marine going to deny the third. It's not like it's an all-in, but remember, the second and third barracks only just started. They're very delayed. MaxPax! He does catch the Liberator. That is excellent for MaxPax. Battery overcharge does go down. He has the energy for it. Okay, MaxPax is Immortal! The Immortal is the saving grace here. It's always about the Immortal to defend that high ground. The Phoenix took out the Liberator. They could probably go across the map to harass now. And the only problem MaxPax has had is he can't take a third during this, and that does hurt. But since you're doing a 4-gas Phoenix Colossus play, I don't think it's nearly as bad as having your third denied with a lot of other kind of Blink-style openings. Third base does get cancelled there. Twitch chat is trying to guess my ethnicity right now. Half German, half convict as far as I know, guys. Phoenix trying to take down the Marines and the SCVs. Ooh, that's a good Phoenix for us. 3 SCVs and a few Marines, but remember, Beyond's got a third. You haven't even started your third as MaxPax. You kind of need to get damage done right now. And whilst, oh, another Phoenix going down. Oh, this is really, really rough. Losing your Phoenix this early is so awkward. MaxPax, he needs to not lose those Phoenix and get his third base up, because in a few minutes, even though Beyond lost some stuff and you're like, well, he's lost more units. Yeah, Beyond's got even workers and a third up. If you let Beyond secure his third, start mining it, get stim, get shields, get up to mass bio medevac production, he's just going to swarm MaxPax. Like right now, MaxPax is pressuring with what even is this army? The awkward crew, the undesirables, the bloody 4 stalkers and an adept, 2 immortals and a few Phoenix with almost no lift energy. It's not the worst army, but it's definitely not the greatest. Once there's a Colossus there, he can at least roast the Marines though. And that's the danger, is 50 seconds till Stim and Shields finishes. If he moves out to take his third, the Colossus can get a few good hits in the middle of the Marines. The Immortals start hitting the Cyclones and the Marauders. The Phoenix pick up some units. Cool, you could just maybe kill Beyond or get massive damage. However, when Stim Shields and 1-1 finishes in about 50 seconds, especially once the 1-1's done, my lord, you need to get out of there as MaxPax. Like, right now you're on the map and it seems all fine and dandy, but it's going to be fine and deady if he stays there too long. And MaxPax realizes, and he does back off a little bit. That was probably the worst thing I've ever said. I apologize for that. Fine and deady. Like, it hurts my soul that that came out of my mouth, but it is what it is. There's no take backsies. Once it's out there, it's out there. Cyclone going after the Adept. We'll take it out. Phoenix damaging the command center. Looking for more units that are popping out, and the army does pull back. I like this. Getting a few Marauders, super value. Marauders are very expensive units. I mean, not very expensive. 125 minerals, 25 gas ain't bad. 8 Marine drop goes towards the main. The Phoenix, I wouldn't mind them recalling, to be honest, to try to get out home in time. A split of 4 Stalkers in the main, though. That's the perfect split to deal with an 8 Marine drop. Beyond, maybe he should have double dropped down there. Probes are coming out to see where he is. The Phoenix as well. Charge is nowhere near done. 3 Colossus are out. There's no pushing in here. Wait, where's the Stalkers? He pulled the Stalkers away. Oh, he warped in the genius defense, and then did he F2 him or something? Oh, no. MaxPax is going to pay a hefty price for this. He might lose +1. Picks off the Marines, but not fast enough. Goodbye, Forge. Ouch. Yeah, and he doesn't even kill the whole drop. That was very sloppy. He also lets Beyond stim into the natural and kill his Robo, potentially. You're kidding me. Beyond full YOLO, 0 chill. The slow Zealots come down, though, and block him. This is a one-way trip. This seems like a smart move until you realize there's no way out. He's locked himself in the room with the serial killer, and MaxPax says, mate, you can't leave. Doesn't lose any probes, keeps his Robo alive, even saves the Immortal. Oh, bam. Beyond takes a brave maneuver. But brave does not necessarily mean smart. It was brave because he challenged his fear, he faced his fear. But shoving your hand into the meat grinder does not necessarily make your fear of putting your hand in a meat grinder go away. It actually confirms your fear. That was diving into a death trap. That was a disastrous trade. Doing that sort of move against Phoenix Colossus is so dangerous. But because he caught him off guard with the Forge, Beyond just saw a hole and he said, let's go. Let's just get in there. Just 0 fear. Sometimes fear is a good thing. StarCraft 2, especially top tier Terran play, I always say is all about kind of knowing when to attack and when to pull back. And that knowledge of when to commit and when to back away is so high level, and most players don't have it and takes years to develop it. But Beyond, normally, that's his strength. And this was the rare case where he slipped up on that and kind of committed into a bad spot. Zealot run by will take out an SCV, but good defense by Beyond at home. Now, Beyond was far enough ahead economically. He might be able to get back in this, but he needs a minute. Archons are warping in. Oh my god, 1-1 Zealot. Archon timing could be deadly. The Colossus Zealot going to try to defend here. And, oh, Beyond's in trouble right now. The Archon Zealot joining the Colossus. Beyond's like, just give me a minute, please, to let my economy and production work. MaxPax is not going to give him that time. These Immortals are absolutely crushing the Colossus, roasting and toasting. Turret just one-shots 2 separate Phoenix. Very rare you see that happen. But, oh man, I think that's it. Beyond is getting smashed here by MaxPax. It looked like he was in a pretty good spot, Beyond, but he still needed more time for that economy to work with his 3cc build. He never got that much direct damage with his initial Cyclone Marine pressure, and now MaxPax is all over it. He's backing off for a moment. I don't know if that's an amazing move or not a great move. I think it's good. There's no EMP energy on the Ghosts. So basically, Archon actual reinforce is so good here. Oh, Big Widow Mine does hit 5 Zealots. Archon, Colossus, Immortal Zealot trying to come in. Baits his stim out, falls back. Good pullback here. The Colossus are great. Phoenix could pick up some Marauders. Would be a good, nice move. Oh, the Marauders are getting wrecked by the Immortals. 15 kills on one, 9 on the other. 8 kill Colossus, 8 kill Colossus, 10 kill Colossus. The Phoenix drags a Widow Mine into the middle of the SCVs. All the Phoenix are gone. The SCVs are pulled. The Colossus Immortal trying to start a step. One more Zealot warp in. Should be massive. There's still... The Immortals and Colossus are still all alive, and they're just getting crazy value. If you never have the numbers to break through the Zealot Archon and get to the Colossus Immortal, the trading gets out of hand. And that is where Protoss sees its efficiency. Beyond throwing the army into the meat grinder was a horrible misstep. I'm not saying he was massively ahead at that point, but after denying the +1 attack, he was definitely in a good position, having his economy lead as well. But he didn't have the army lead just yet. And once he threw away the army out there, he was way behind, and MaxPax punished him. Fantastic defense into aggression for MaxPax, and he is on a 3-1 advantage. 1 game away. All right, guys. This could be it. MaxPax in the top left of Oceanborn. This is a good map for Terran. But the fact that he's up 3-1, dude. That last map maybe actually was MaxPax's map pick, because this map seems really good for Terran. Now, this proxy barracks is so close, but luckily for MaxPax, he went for the Reaper wall. That's going to slow the Reaper getting in. It has to go around. Will take a little longer. Now, a lot of players, when they do this, they go for the bunker recently. I don't think that's a good move. I think that the top Protoss are so good at shutting down the bunker that it's actually a waste of money most of the time. Oh, it gets blocked as well. Youchies. I feel like the mineral line's the better spot, isn't it? Interesting that he builds it at the front. He's trying to bait that probe into staying there longer so the Reaper gets a free kill. MaxPax sees that Reaper about to get in. Notice the shift click on the rally point so the Zealot can get out. The Reaper trying to get into the main base. Ooh. Oh, 2. Is he gonna get 2? Not quite. Nice defense there for MaxPax. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get excited and just stare at the micro. Bunker gets sold. Only 1 kill and a bit of lost mining time. Well done there. We've got a Zealot going across the map. Factory on the high ground. Command center is up. I don't mind the cancel on the bunker. I think that's okay. But I do think sometimes overcommitting to the bunker can be a bit of a waste of time. But since he's done a double gas build, the opportunity cost doesn't really... Oh, no. Beyond just... Did he just... Oh, I think he... I don't know what he did there. He just didn't click that Reaper far enough home. Gave up a Reaper for free there. These freebies cannot be good. Beyond is a player who sometimes is a momentum creature. When he gets going, he looks unstoppable. But has MaxPax just bitten away at his confidence right now? Because that was an unforced error. Can't be making unforced errors at this level. Not frequently. Twilight Council is on the way. The Reaper and the Hellion are going to have a bit of a poke in. The Adept easily deflecting that. Second barracks starts up at home. Now, what I'm interested in, we haven't actually seen any really brutal 2-base pushes. I'm thinking of when I saw Dolan beat Hero a few weeks ago in the Weekly Cup, and he basically did these like double gas pressure openings and just followed up with really quick second and third barracks and did these brutal 2-base all-ins. And, you know, like Bunny does those a lot as well. Beyond's playing a little bit more standard, and I feel like because MaxPax is so used to playing against Clem and these normie Europeans that do the same macro styles over and over again, MaxPax is like perfect in these sort of games right now. 3-0'd Clem last week, so he is actually in fine form and gets another Reaper, no real scout going down. There is no units at home except a single Widow Mine on the high ground. Now finally a Cyclone gets out. Hey, gets an Adept. That's well worth it. He could also pick off the Zealot if he chases down there, but he's going to opt to keep it a secret and go across the map instead. Tech Labs are building here, as well as a reactor on the barracks. Looks like we're probably going to see a Raven. No, Starport just building add-on so we can go to 3 barracks. Okay, very nice. Third Nexus starting up. Robo almost finished as well. I definitely want to see Beyond win this game. I am unashamedly cheering for him there. I feel like, you guys, why do you hate Danish players so much, pig? Normally people accuse me of hating Koreans, but sometimes it's Protoss, sometimes it's Terra. It's basically, I cheer for the underdog most of the time. And like a bit of bias in me commentary personally. Some people don't like it, but for me, it really is a problem. If you got to win 3 games in a row as Beyond, how do you win this game? How do you win the next? And that is the view I'm going to be commentating from. He's got to watch out, man. Blink's done in 20 seconds. Well, a bit longer than that. 30 seconds. Careful, Beyond. Oh my gosh, Beyond. Why are we going in here? Get out. Just run home. There's no need for this, mate. He gets a probe. He gets a second one. He gets a third one. He gets a fourth one. It's super worth it. It's actually super worth it. He gets 6 probes and gets... Okay, I take it back. Apparently being a crazy person is a very good trait. 6 probes, keeps it alive, doesn't try to fly out so he doesn't run into these stalkers. Fantastic damage. That's really, really good. It's damage where MaxPax is probably shaking his head going, are you serious, man? Come on. Not expecting that to happen. Now, Beyond's one of the best observer spotters in the game. I remember casting him against MaxPax on Ancient Cistern, and he scanned 14 observers. Every time an observer arrived over his army, Beyond instantly scanned and killed it. Even in the late game, because of that MaxPax late game DT harass could not do anything. And I remember at the end of the game, I was like, that was unusual, right? And I asked MaxPax, and MaxPax was like, yeah, that was freaky. He's like, I've never seen someone kill my observers all over the map in 3, 4, 5 different places consistently. I never got any vision. I couldn't tell what was going on. I was like, what the? He was like, what the hell? And I asked Beyond if he had any special settings, and he was like, oh no, just lucky. You know, he didn't really clarify. He didn't say he had any specials. I was like, how do you see the Widow Mines? He's like, oh yeah, just try to use my eyes. It was that classic, insightful pro gamer answer as to how they're so good. I just play the game. I just use my eyes. I don't know. I just look. You know, as always, we've got to extrapolate. I do like this Widow Mine. Look at that. Gets a Stalker. Nicely done. Got rid of the Observer now as well. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Goes for the double drop. He says, I denied your vision. I just killed a Stalker on the map with the Widow Mine. Double drop's going to sneak in, and this is nasty. If MaxPax sees it with the pylon, that'll at least give him time to react, but looks like Beyond, I would say, is in a good position. That being said, 60 probes already. Robo Bay, Charge, +1, and Immortal Production. Fantastic vision. The pylon is almost done. The pylon's almost... Okay, he's going to stop to kill the pylons. He's like, I've been spotted. He doesn't know all the Stalkers are outside his base. That pylon does get cancelled as well. No recall yet. Recall to the natural Stalkers in nearby, but battery's going to go down. Oh, gosh. Oh, whoa. Beyond showing reckless abandon in this game. It already got him 6 kills earlier. He gets a sentry. He does lose a medevac, though. An overcommitment that time around. Dancing with the devil, playing dangerous games. Play dangerous games, win dangerous prizes. The Zealot does take out the SCV on the 3rd. Zealot dropping the main. He's going to get a bunch more. Beyond a little slow to pull these SCVs. You've got to be careful using Widow Mines to defend a mineral line as well, because they are prone to killing their own units. The Widow Mine is much like using a tactical nuke on your own soldiers while they're engaged with the enemy, saying, well, we'll take out a lot of the enemy. Oh, the 3rd base! MaxPax dives on the 3rd! Oh, no! Oh, no! Anticlimactic. I mean, that is just his entire mentality was crushed. Did he lose the drop on the map as well? No, the drop's coming home, but he's taking way too many SCVs here. He's like, gosh, damn it. He looks back. The SCV gets killed. The command center goes down, and it is an early GG. But he knew he was stuck on 2 base against a Protoss who was established on 3 full bases. Like, losing this 3rd was terrible for him there. Because remember, if he has the 3rd, he can keep making units off 5 barracks, he can rebuild SCVs, but he's just lost 7 SCVs, so now he's buying 20 workers, and he's down a full base. Like, it is a pretty disastrous scenario to find yourself in. MaxPax handling things with poise. A 4-1 over Beyond after 3-0 in Clem earlier this week. MaxPax is on fire. What an absolute beast. GG, well played.